history last time out. Cao Vietnam, not perhaps in the manner he would have liked to have won it, but taking the victory. Is he able to repeat it around this very, very difficult circuit, Barry Russell?
Yeah, this is such a technical track. If you make one mistake, your lap is right out of order. And let's go to Daniel, who's waiting for us on the grid.
Thank you, Des and Barry. Down here on the grid, the temperatures are cooling down. The breeze is very nice, but it's coming from the back of the straight. We'll see if that affects the race in any way at all. But let's talk to a very fast pro man. It's Md Kiandra Ramadhipa. So, Kiandra, it's a first pole position for you, and with Herjun right by your side. What is the strategy having your teammate next to you?
In this race, I will attack from the start. And I will enjoy the race.
We love to hear that. You always got a smile on your face. Thank you so much, Kiandra. Good luck for this race. And that's all the time we have on the grid. Oh, actually, we do have a bit of time. Let's grab a quick word at the back here to Cao Vietnam while the mechanics get out of the way. So we do have some time. So let's squeeze through. So Cao Vietnam, victory in the only race in Zhuhai. This time you start from second row in P5. How do you feel coming to Motegi?
Yeah, I feel very confident. This year, I'm very near the top rider in ARRC now, and I will try to all my best to do today.
Thank you so much, Cao Vietnam. We look forward to seeing it. Good luck.
We've got 24 starters, and if that confidence is anything to go by, there's going to be a heck of a race.
We're going to have to redesign the podium. But yeah, that was really good to see, and the attitude from Utadate, you've got to smile at that, and you always got to smile for Kiandra. But the misfortune suffered by Ferozi Torakatula, who off camera we didn't see it this morning, but he had a crash right at the end of the qualifying session.
23 starters on the grid without Ferozi Torakatula. Would have been P1, but Kiandra Ramadhipa, one person's bad luck is another one's good luck, and Kiandra, who was pretty quick, at 2:07.7, 2/10 quicker than Herjun Atna. Astra Honda Racing P1 and P2. Remember, Kiandra didn't have the best of luck last time out either. And a slow start there, it's always scary if you're left on the grid. That was Alfonsi de Keegan. Number 51. Right, this is the circuit as the sponsors get their moment in the sun. Our thanks to Indian Oil for their sponsorship of the Hidemetsu Asian Road Racing Championship. Kiandra Ramadhipa, Astra Honda Racing alongside Herjun Atna, 1 and 2 on the grid. Ayoshi on the fast Kawasaki in P3.
And on the second row, Warwick Tongnopakun for East NJT Racing. Good qualification from him. Cao Vietnam in the middle of the second row, and outside of him, Sharifuddin Azman for Idemitsu Bunshu Honda.
P7 will be Utadate Victor Racing Team. Wild card for today, but confident wild card. Irfan Haikal from Idemitsu Bunshu Honda, and Arai Agaska Laksana from Yamaha Racing Indonesia complete row 3.
And in P10, leading row 4 is Ryuji Yoko. Next to him, Ryota Ogiwara, and outside of him, Alfonsi de Guigan.
Row 4 on to row 5. We've got Pierre Wapatumyos for East NJT Racing for Thailand. Yun Ton Anpul from Honda Racing of Vietnam, alongside Deander Trihardika from Motul Sniper Mantech. That's on row 5.
And also for East NJT, Watcher Timon starts 16th. Next to him, 17th, Nguyen Hu Tri, and outside of him, Gao Zheang for Team One for All, Wonder Vacations.
Having Kintal from Idemitsu Honda Racing India is in P19 alongside Victor Racing's Wang Jiadong, and Mohsin Paramban, also Idemitsu Honda Racing India. Let's hope they can get some decent points today.
Row 8 consists of TY Antares Shunchen Jiang, and next to him, Long Nanze from Hong Kong, riding for Victor Racing Team, and from the Philippines, Freya Makasuba for Pitspike One Way JRT. And that's the safety car coming over the brow of the hill there.
Just a note, Makasuba didn't post an actual time. He had the technical infringements. That's why he's right down at the bottom of the grid. Was performing a lot better than that might suggest. We are deep in the countryside at this Motegi Twin Ring circuit. It's a beautiful circuit, but you have to travel quite some way to get here.
Yeah, in theory it's 2.5 hours north of Tokyo, but there's a lot of traffic lights on the way if you come by car, as some of us did.
Right, this is round 3 of 6 of the season of the Idemitsu Asian Road Racing Championships. 23 on the grid. Best wishes to Fairozi. He will be an injured absentee both today and tomorrow. Green flag at the back says we are all fit and ready to go. Let's have a look for Astra Honda Racing. They'll be looking to dominate from the start. We're underway, and it is a solid start indeed from Kiandra Ramadhipa. And Astra Honda have got off to exactly the kind of start that they wanted. Warit has come through as well into P3. That's a good start from East, but Astra Honda Racing are 2 flyers there, Barry Russell.
Yeah, they certainly have. And Herjun has been going really well all the way through. He's running with a rev cut. But I'll tell you what, Aiki Yoshi, he made a sluggish start from the front row position, but he's made his way back up. I think he's just slotted his way into 4th.
The lime green of the Kawasaki raced very, very well last time out, as several are pushed very, very wide. 62, Ryoji Yoke, and just had to make sure he was very, very tight on the handlebars there.
That's Sharifuddin Azman, who is up at the front. He qualified a little bit further down than we might have expected on the 3rd row. He's made a really good start too, the number 63.
Sharifuddin hasn't put the form together I think that we were expecting from him. He's 3rd in the championship. He's had 2 fourths and a 3rd, so it's very, very solid without being spectacular. Here's Ayoshi right on his shoulder though. The man who's leading the way is Herjun Atna. They go out into the countryside. A couple of evasive actions there from Kiandra, who's been forced back just a little bit. Now somebody's got a problem. Was it 63? Was it Cal Vietnam?
63 is Sharifuddin. Hopefully, you say no, that's Irfan Heikel.
Irfan Heikel, yeah.
So a little bit of despair from the young Malaysian. Mechanical failure for him. So early exit for the Malaysian. Now we're seeing for the first time.
Sharifuddin is in that leading group. They go into the dark. That can be a little bit disconcerting, I'd imagine, going from bright sunlight into dark and back out into sunlight again. The man leading the way is Kiandra Ramadhipa. He didn't get off to the best of starts, but he's made up for it now, and it's an Astra Honda Racing 1-2 behind them. Sharifuddin, Cal Vietnam, winner last time out, is nicely tucked in there in P4 ahead of Arai Agaska on the Yamaha, Ayoshi on the Kawasaki down in P6.
Yeah, let's see what Arai Agaska can do. He's the sole runner now, of course, after Torakatula's injured exit for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. And he started from way back. He didn't have a good qualifying session, but he's made his way up into about P5, I think, P4. Cal Vietnam is up there as well, Des.
3 straights in a row. Cal Vietnam 65, just tucked in there behind the Yamaha of Arai Agaska.
Another Yamaha to watch there is Utadate. Confident Utadate. He's very much in the mix there for Victor Racing. Great to have him here as a wild card.
We're getting a notice on the from race direction. The track surface is slippery in turns 9 and 10, which is on the way up the hill. Sharifuddin Azman tucks in very nicely. Looks very comfortable there, Sharifuddin. Being tracked by the 2 Yamahas. The Kawasaki now dropped into the P5. And the 3 makes are all genuinely competitive this season, thanks to some rather judicious use of the rules.
Yeah, they really do make this series even. It's enabled us to see the Yamaha R3s in, and also this fantastic Kawasaki 4 cylinders. And as we'll see, under braking, it's going to be really interesting, I think, to watch how over the course of a race Aiki Yoshi manages that hard downhill braking. Doing a decent job now, back in 6th.
From the 2 races we've seen so far, the early stages of the races are just people getting used to the circuit and its intricacies. It's very different to anything we've had on the ARRC. It's definitely an advantage for the Japanese racers who will have been here before.
Yeah, and Sheriford in 2, who's raced here in Moto 3, of course.
But then it gets really very exciting once you hit the final quarter of the race, particularly the last 2 or 3 laps, coming down that hill, just getting yourself perfectly settled for that sharp right-hander. That works out where you can approach the 2 left-handers, and that in itself works out how you can approach the final straight.
Yeah, Utadate has just worked his way into P4. He just overtook Arai Agaska for that 4th position, so he's the quickest non-Honda right now, and he's having a nibble here at, in fact, a bite at Herjun Atna.
They go under the tunnel for the 3rd time. It'll be 7 laps to go. Coming up the hill, well, Date is having a real dart at things.
He is. He said only win. So that's clearly where his head is at the moment.
I didn't believe him. I thought that was just bravado. But he's putting his bike where his mouth is. Terrific work from Date at the moment.
Yeah, he meant it. And isn't it great to see, sorry Des, isn't it great to see a Victor Racing machine running at the front?
Charafudim trying to get close to him as well. They come up again, this deceptive brow of the hill. It is a long haul up that hill. Not the most difficult, and then it's precipitous on the way down. You can already see different lines coming into this final corner. That's nicely done by Kiandra. Remember, Kiandra's still a very, very young racer, and he's still learning his craft, but it looks like he's got this track sorted. That's a terrific way to lead into this final straight.
Yeah, look at the confidence there as he comes out, uses just enough of the curb, but not using a little bit too much of the curb, and some of the grass. Was Ryota Ogiwara, another of the really quick wild cards in the mix here.
Ogiwara just 2 seconds separating 1 from 9. In the 250s, you can make 2 seconds up pretty easily.
Yes, it's a convincing performance from Kiandra from the inherited pole position. Herjun making his way back up as well.
Making the most of this inheritance, and he's actually been able to pull a little. He was just under a second clear of Date as they went over the start-finish line. It looks like he's increased that lead. Date just has a little look on the inside there of Herjun Atna.
Those 2 Yamahas really going to get past Herjun. He's running that rev cut by virtue of his championship lead. So that's a challenge for Herjun, a challenge he's overcome magnificently during the course of this weekend by finding more corner speed, among other things.
Race direction had said there was a little bit of slipperiness in turn 9. It's now been cleared. It looks pretty good. Conditions look absolutely perfect. A little bit of a light breeze out there. Acceptable track temperatures, low humidity. So the racers rather enjoying the conditions at Motegi, and this man in particular, Md Kiandra Ramadhipa, for the Astra Honda racing team. Well, he's increased his lead ahead of Herjun Atna. Behind them, 38 is Arai Agaska Debani Laksana on the Yamaha.
Yeah, all the top 9 running in the 208s, and the fastest of them is Utadate.
Quarit from East, just a little bit outside, 209.4. He's in 10th place. This is the battle for P3, Herjun Atna. Oh no, he's got ahead of Date, P2. And leading the way is still Kiandra. How big is the lead now? 1.6 seconds. Gosh, he's taken 7/10 of a second in the last lap and a half.
Yep, and set the, oh no, not quite the fastest lap of the race. That is still with Utadate.
Utadate
goes down with Aiki Ioshi. And it's not only those 2.
Date and Ayoshi, they have gone down, and that just helps Kiandra Ramadhipa. And Herjun Atna is there as well. Can we see Sharafuddin? Was he involved in that?
Yeah, and all the dust and mayhem there. I'm not sure whether that was just two bikes that crashed. Take another look at that, no doubt, shortly. But at the front, trouble-free is Md Kiandra Ramadhipa.
Sharafuddin has dropped down. He might have just been out of trouble there. This is the battle for P2, but Kiandra, with all that went on behind him, has just been able to increase his lead. It was 1.6 seconds at the start of the previous lap, and he's got a bit of protection from Herjun Atna, if Herjun is indeed going to protect him, or Herjun might just want to try and take the victory himself here.
It looks like Arai Agaska has got a bit more pace than Herjun, so Herjun's better strategy might be to let him through and follow him, get a tow from him, because he is running with that rev cut.
Yoko is in P4 at the moment, so Date definitely went out. We haven't seen much of Cal Vietnam recently as well.
Well, he's right up there, Des, in that group, or he was before the crash. Let's have a look where he is now.
There he was, that's the operative word. But Kiandra, meantime, has really extended his lead. Herjun Atna is there. And support from Arai Agaska. Here's the incident. So Date, oh, it's the man in front of him. It is Cal Vietnam who goes down. Date goes over Cal Vietnam.
You can't miss him. And is that Deandra joining them as well?
Oof.
No, that was Aikiyoshi joining them, yeah.
We'll bring you an update on Cal Vietnam as soon as we get one, but that looked not great. No way out of the way for Yuka Date. Okay, we can confirm Cal Vietnam is okay. He has come out of a very, very nasty incident there. Possibly the fact it was on the gravel has helped him, but he's been able to avoid any serious injury in that instance with Yuka Date. But both are out of the race.
So P1 and P2 now, we have these two really exciting young Indonesian motorcycle racing prodigies. Kiandra running away at the front, but now the next rider on track is Arai Agaska. So can Arai Agaska do anything about that?
We've got the wildcards as well there. Ogiwara, bike number 12, he's involved. On bike number 62, Ryuji Yoko. Behind them, Sharafuddin Azman, who's had a very difficult last couple of laps, but he avoided any of the problems there. If he can just get onto the edge and maybe take Warwick with him, he might be able to join this battle for P2. Arai Agaska in the blue is leading it, bike number 38, ahead of Herjun Atna Firdaus. Herjun Atna is the championship leader, 3 points clear of Fairozi Torakotula, who's an injured absentee for this race and for tomorrow's race.
Herjun just maintaining his position behind then. Yongnan Tzu is off. Oh.
And bike problems for him. Those Yamahas are looking right then. Sharafuddin is just beginning to make up a little bit of ground. He must have had an incident. He's a little bit down on Ryuji Yoko, but not too far down on him as the timing comes through. He's just over a second down on Yoko in that battle for P5.
And Warwick, who has been good here, tracking Sharafuddin.
So extreme left of your screen is the race leader, Kiandra Ramadhipa. Behind him, 38, Arai Agaska. Behind him, Herjun Atna, 46. Then Ogiwara and Yoko. That's the battle for P2. Four-way battle for P2. And then Sharafuddin trying his damnness to get close to those two. But he's not been able to close up in the early stages of this lap. 3.5 laps to go as they come to the bridge.
Sorry, Des. Yoko was having a good look there, and I think he might have made up a place or two with that move. When we come back to the front of this chasing group, take a look for the 62.
Kiandra Ramadhipa is increasing his lead. Kiandra hasn't had a podium so far this year. A P5, 2 P6s. Then, like everybody else, washed out in the rain, but there he is in the glorious sunshine, 2-on-2. Half for straight clear. of Herjun Atna. 2 Japanese just behind Arai Agaska. This is great for Arai Agaska, best we've seen from him.
Yeah, it is good. Although Herjun just took back that place. With a 3-second lead at the front. And not halfway through it at this point.
Arai just being bullied out of it. See what the young Indonesian can do in response. Well, he has indeed been bullied out of it. That's good racing from Yoji Yoko. He had the racing line and he wasn't giving it up, and Yoko is through now into P3. Arai, well, it gets level.
Just shows him his elbow as they go through there. Show he's not scared. They do race hard in Japan, hard but fair. Arai Agaska fancies this. He wants to get off after the Indonesian in front of him on the Astra Honda. It is Astra Honda running 1-2 at the moment.
Behind them, Sharafuddin has been able to close just a little bit, and he's dragged Warrit on the east bike closer to them as well. So we now have a 6-way battle for P2. The lead, by the way, has gone up to nearly 4 seconds from Kiandra Ramadhipa. And how about that? That's now into P2 for Ryuji Yoko. These wildcards, they mean business when you come to Japan. They know these circuits.
Yeah, the quality of racing in the All Japan Series is fantastic as well. So when they put wildcards in, they always put some good ones in. And that's really nice work from Herjun, showing this corner speed style that he's had to develop, given his power or loss of his power advantage.
Ryuji's got the fastest time. In fact, Warrit has just put in the fastest time, 209.024. Ryuji was the fastest prior to that at 209.3. So these lap times are coming down, but the lead isn't coming down.
No,
as these approach the crest of the hill, that man, Ramadhipa, is halfway down the slope.
He's deceptively fast. That looked leisurely over the brow of the hill there, but his lap time's really consistent in the mid 208s.
4.8.4 was his last lap. Behind them, Herjun Atna's got himself in front once again. It's lonely, but it's a nice place to be, nice and lonely. It'll be 2 laps to go for him. Herjun Atna, his teammate, just behind them. And Warrit has got on to the end of that as well. So 12 is Ogiwara, the man in black.
Yeah, there's a very good chance that we'll see a wild card on the podium here. It wouldn't be the first time in Japan.
Herjun Atna sneaks through. He's got himself back into P2. The lead has gone up to 4.7 seconds. So while this group of 6 are fighting and scrapping, Kiandra is taking full advantage. Not that he needed to. It's been a terrific race from young Kiandra. Let's not forget, he's still a teenager.
He's a young teenager. He's 14 or 15? 14.
Oh, the 2 Japanese force each other wide. The wild cards going wild as they just couldn't hold the braking. Coming into this corner as they go up the hill. So that's a mistake from, ironically, the Japanese Ogiwara and Yoko.
Yeah, well, we said we might see them on the podium. Let's have another look. Yeah, both getting quite untidy under braking there. They go to the outside, so they keep out of everyone else's way. They switch to the inside.
Well, Herjun Atna leads this from Arai Agaska. The lead is beyond 4.7 seconds now. It's getting bigger and bigger. Herjun Atna, well, he's not playing a soldier, but he's in some ways holding up the rest.
Yeah, he's got Arai Agaska behind him once again.
Lead again has increased as Kiandra comes down the hill. AP250cc.
Now that's aggressive by Arai Agaska, forcing Herjun wide under braking. Further onto the rumble strip than he really wanted to be. Look at this gap, Des.
Well, it was 4.7 seconds at the end of the previous lap. Sharafuddin's right up close, and so is Warwick. This is a great race by Warwick. We've not seen Warwick get this as close as this before to the front guys.
Yeah, we know he's a good rider, but this is great to see him coming through and converting it into a good race.
Best position P6 in Buriram race number 1 for Warwick. He might be able to equal that. He might be able to even get better than that. But the 2 Japanese behind him, just closing, trying to close up that gap after the mistake they made. The lead is up to 5.8 seconds up at the front. This race is Kiandra Ramadhipa's, providing he doesn't do anything silly.
Yeah, so Arai Agaska, he's got Sharafuddin for company as well as Herjun and Warwick. This is a nice battle.
Sharafuddin has done well just to ease his way back. He was a long way down at the midway point of this race. 3 seconds down, he's got himself back close. Definitely in contention for a podium. Sharafuddin should continue a good season for him. Currently in P4. Malaysian right on the back wheel of Arai Agaska. But he's under pressure also from Warwick. Nopakun. Keep an eye out on bike number 63 though. He's kind of just been tracking the others in front of us. Going out of shot is Kiandra. Different lines taken. Herjun Atna has the lead. Warwick has a look on the inside there of Sharafuddin. Sharafuddin on rail tracks, makes it around. There's Herjun Atna still holding on to P2. Arai Agaska looking for a second podium of the season in P3 as they come down the hill. This is the battle for P2. Now it's getting very congested. Sharafuddin wants to try to get the inside line. He has. Can he hold on to it? They might force themselves wide, and Sharafuddin is blocked off up at the front as we watch the battle for P2. It's Herjun Atna who's holding on to P2. Arai Agaska into P3. The race will be won by Kiandra. This is the battle for P2. Kiandra wins it. Behind them, is it a 1-2 for Astra Honda Racing? It's going to be close. It will be a 1-2 for Astra Honda Racing. Well, the official time slot says Arai Agaska got ahead of Herjun Atna, but to my way of thinking, I don't think that was the case.
No, I don't think so, Des. I think that was Herjun in second. We've been right before.
We've been wrong before. But
well,
Kiandra takes it 6 seconds clear, slowing down, and he deserves the big thumbs up. There is a photo finish, both for P2 and for P4, where Warwick is officially adjudged to be ahead of Sharafuddin. And I think that one is right, but Arai Agaska and Herjun Atna, the official timing says that
waktu berlalu takkan menunggu, bersama mentari berlari meraih mimpi. Satukan tekad, genggamlah erat, tetap semangat, jadilah yang terhebat. Tak perlu lama menunggu, yang bukan jawaban. Genggamlah tanganku ini, melangkahlah dengan pasti, bersatu membahu raih semua mimpi kita akan terus melaju. Tunjukkan pada dunia, sinar ini masih ada. Tak perlu kau ragu ataupun kau malu, kita pasti terus melaju. Satukan tekad, genggamlah erat, tetap semangat, jadilah yang terhebat. Tak perlu lama menunggu, yang bukan jawaban. Genggamlah tanganku ini, melangkahlah dengan pasti, bersatu membawa semua mimpi kita akan terus melaju.